Okay, take your test ball of yarn and overlap the ends about 2 feet. Take and tie a slip knot in one end so that when you pull on this doubled portion, it's not going to undo your knot. We are going to do a long tail cast on. It doesn't matter which long tail cast on you use. I am using a German twisted Old Norwegian, and I'm going to cast on 26 stitches. I can't remember whether that's the right number or not, so just bear with me here. We can adjust as we go along. The first one's always a bugger for me, and I can't tell you why. It just is. There we go. Alright, here we go. Off and running. Alright, I'm going to set a marker at 4 stitches. The second marker I'm going to set at 4 stitches. These are our turn markers. These are where our short row turns are. Now I'm going to go 3 and set a marker. If you need a video of how I do this cast on, I have a video somewhere. I'll dig it out for you if you yell at me. Okay, so we have 2 at 4, 2 at 3, 2 at 2, 1, 2, set the marker. 1, 2, set the marker. Then we have 1, set the marker, and 1, set the marker. Now we need 4 stitches for our shoulder. 1, 2, 3, 4. That looks like I have an extra long tail. I think that might be 26 stitches. It's somewhere close to that. So there's where we are. Now we're going to set our shoulder marker right here. I'll come back to you in just a minute. Okay, everything we talked about in the first test still applies. This is our cast on, and we don't do a first row. So I'm going to tell you that you need to do an increase in one of the bumps here. Just pick a bump. Don't overthink it. You just want to stick up an increase in here. So you're just going to pick up something that's there in the cast on row and create a stitch in it. Don't overthink it. Just find something that works and go and run with it. So we're going to stitch to our marker, and at the marker we're going to do our short row turn. I want you to feel free to do whatever turn works for you. Now you'll notice I left my marker on. I did my short row turn, and I'm going to go back to the other end. And I'm sorry I'm not turning my work. Please feel free to turn your work. Alright, so we have 5 stitches between our marker and the end of the needle. This is a repeat. We do our first stitch, we reach down and we grab something in that mess of the stitch below, and we do our increase. We do one more stitch. That gives me 3 on the needle here and 3 on the needle here, and this is where we're putting our shoulder increase. We're not going to do our shoulder increase this row set, but we're going to set our marker. We knit our turn, slip that marker, we don't need it anymore, and we're going to do our short row turn in the next stitch. There's our short row turn, and you can do any kind of short row turn you want. You can do wrap and turn, twinned, it does not matter. All the way back to the end. This will be the finish of our prep row. And we're going to do exactly the same thing again. Knit the first one, find something in this mess down here that's going to let you do an increase. Do your increase. You're going to stitch to the shoulder marker. This is exactly like we did it before. Stitch to the shoulder marker, stitch one, and do your lifted increase. Now you can see that every time we do a short row turn, we're going to be adding way more stitches because we keep exponentially increasing the number that are between the short row turns. So here's our short row turn, and we go back to the start. Here's our shoulder. We slip our shoulder, we knit one, and we reach back and do our increase all the way to the end. Now at this point we are going to set our back raglan marker. First stitch, pick up something in that mess to do an increase in, stitch to the shoulder marker, slip it, and increase, do a knit one and then increase, grab that purl bump and do the increase. Alright, now we are going to do 4 stitches for our back raglan. That's 4 stitches. This is where our back raglan marker is going to go. We reach back across the marker, we lift that purl bump and do our increase. We've now set our back raglan marker. We drop the marker and we stitch to the next marker and we do our short row turn. Whichever short row turn you want to do, you just need to do a short row turn there. I just want you to understand the mechanics. Alright, we've gone to our back raglan marker. It gets slipped with no increase because it's the wrong direction. Here's our shoulder marker. We increase one and we reach back and grab that. Now I'm going to set the front row marker, which is going to be 4 stitches. 2, 4 to the back marker, 3, 4 to the front marker. No, I'm not going to set it yet. I did that to you guys last time and it was a disaster. Let's not do that. Let's just wait until we're going to do the increase. Alright, so we're at the end. We're going to turn and we're going to do our increase. We're going to knit to the shoulder marker. There's our shoulder marker, knit one, increase, knit to our back marker, slip it and increase. Here's the trick to this. If you can't do a backward lifted increase and have it end up on the right side of the marker for what you're doing, then don't do an increase. It's really that simple. Okay, and we continue this all the way to our back marker. There's our turn stitch. We're going to drop. I'm caught here somehow. There we go. Alright. So I knit to the marker, and I do my short row turn. Knit to the shoulder marker, here's our shoulder marker. We're not going, or our back raglan. We're not going to do anything to that. If I tried to reach across and do a backward lifted increase, it would put the increase on the shoulder instead of the body, which is why we don't do it. We just skip it. If you focus on doing one kind of increase only and it doesn't work where you're going to do it, then it doesn't belong there. Shoulder marker, knit one, increase, knit to the end. No, okay. This is the row we're going to do our shoulder increase on. So we need 5 stitches from the marker. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, and we set our marker here. We reach back and do a lifted increase and knit to the end. Now, this is our whole shoulder. We are repeating this until we run out of stitches to turn on. Can you see it's exactly the same shoulder? We've got our 3 markers set. They're the right distance apart. Every time we come to one of these, we're going to slip it, knit to the marker, and do our short row turn. So you can see we've got that many more short row turns plus the one that's right here. And that's what we work on. So I'm going to do this one more time. I'm going to pull this out, and I'm actually going to turn my work. So those of you who do turn your work aren't completely lost.